This is Life's a Pitch TV. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lackens, all about hearing. Forward Floors, Ginger Pickle, Fred Olsen Logistics, The Dove, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year, Cancer Support Suffolk and the Ipswich Town Community Foundation. Terry Butcher leading the chants this week. Fantastic. Now he's coughing, he's lost his voice, look. Welcome along to this week's edition of Life's Pitch TV. I'm your host, Mark Murphy. Let me introduce you to the team. Has he got his voice back? It's Terry Butcher, Russell Osman, and Luke Chambers. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We've got on technicals tonight. We've got Richard and John, who are fading me in and out as I speak. Leslie and Sarah are our floor managers, and you are our capacity crowd. So let's welcome the Churchman stand, sponsored by John Keeble Cars. And the North stand, sponsored by Ashford Wright. Fantastic. We're on YouTube. If you're watching right now, hello, hello, hello. You can also find us on podcast and on Suffolk Sound. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to smash that like and subscribe buttons, and you'll get notifications and everything about what we're up to. So it really does help the channel no end. Now, what we need this week is a special guest. What we need this week is someone who knows plenty about Nottingham Forest and plenty about Ipswich Town. So, Chambers!
Do you want me to walk in? I'm all right here.
Uniquely placed, mate, this week, aren't you?
Yeah, what a game to look forward to, eh?
Yeah, fantastic. Are you going to have, which colour scarf are you going to have, or one of those half and halves?
Oh, I don't believe in them, no.
Do you not like those?
No, no. I'm actually going to do a little bit for Forest before the game, and then I'm on Town TV for a little debut before the game, so see what that's all about.
Busy guy.
Too busy, really.
Too busy.
No, yeah, looking forward to the game. Yeah, it's going to be a tough game, obviously, for Ipswich's point of view. But yeah, nice to see the two teams clashing again. What, third time this season?
We'll come to that in a moment or two.
So will you jump up if both teams score? You know, they score. So say it's 2-2. Would you be jumping up 4 times?
Probably not. No.
Okay. You sure?
Very positive.
We'll get a camera on you. We'll talk more about Forest in a moment or two. But Palace last week, Butch. We played well, according to some of our capacity crowd who were there. We played well, and we just didn't manage to get it over the line.
No, I mean, it could have gone any way, really. I mean, not a lot to choose between the teams. Chances came and went for both sides, and it was sort of think, well, it's petering out to a draw, but we didn't peter out for a draw, and they got a lucky or a good ricochet on the edge of the box, which fell well for Sarr, who showed a great first touch and a lovely little dink finish. So that little bit of quality just got them over the line. But a lot not to be happy about, but you know, we've lost another game, and that's a big worry. I mean, when everybody's saying we need a win, and once we get a win, then we'll be on our way. But it's not as easy as that, because there's top-class opposition in the Premier League. So we need wins. Simple as that. When we need wins ASAP.
Russ, it's been the story of the season, hasn't it, really? So near, yet not getting the points.
Yeah, it's been disappointing from that point of view. Some very good patches in games, good performances from individuals in games. We're just not quite putting the whole 90 minutes together. You know, we're not as tight at the back for 90 minutes, and we're not quite looking prolific up front for 90 minutes. You know, I know it's very difficult to do that, and we just really need to try and be at our best when we're playing somebody who's sort of not quite at their best at the moment to nick that little win that we need. And we have a squad of really good players, But it looks like everybody else has got a squad of really, really, really good players, and we're just finding it a bit hard work at times.
Chamber, what do you make of that defeat?
Yeah, it's like it's gone beyond the stage that if we win one game then we'll be off. It's literally every game has to be a cup final, and we are falling short at the minute, and it just shows you the level and how relentless the league is. We always spoke about how relentless the Championship was, and game after game after game, and tough opposition, but this is just, as we're experiencing, another level. Even the teams that you think you might have a even better chance against show how good they are, and individually and collectively. And yeah, when you're in those games that we were at the weekend, you have to get a point. It's about not losing as well as obviously trying to win. And when you are having good performances, the more often you don't pick up points, the harder it then becomes to keep those spirits high, the morale and how people are playing, how they're handling the ball, when they're taking the ball, how confident they are. And that can't always be developed inside a dressing room. It has to come on the pitch, and that will come from results, as we've seen from the momentum that the club have carried over the last few years. So,
yeah, a point would have been a brilliant result, wouldn't
amazing, and it would have
Brilliant
warranted
result.
that with the performance. But you can go as far as you want, 60, 70 minutes in a game, and one bit of magic from any one of their front men at the weekend, and it's no points picked up. So that's the worrying thing at the moment.
It's just when we've played in loads of games where it's even Stevens, and it's the draw is a fair result for both sides, and then somebody produces something or someone makes a mistake, and then you lose. You know, and you talk about fine margins, and it's literally the Premier League is about fine margins, and it's just falling the wrong side for us. But there's still spirit there. There's still obviously spirit amongst the fans and spirit amongst the players. So you know, you sort of say, well, we need more. And as Russell says, maybe you'll catch one or two teams on an off day. So we've got 10 games left.
I think by no means it's over, and the lads are giving up.
No.
They're performing week in, week out. It's just like those small margins that you have to take the chances when they come, because that's
it
what
didn't help with Wolves getting a point, did it?
No, but I don't
and their
think
goal difference is better than ours.
At this stage, you can't be looking at anyone else.
Okay.
Like Wolves, yes, are the ones that you can catch, but
But
it's not about that.
But
you
we
can't affect
we
anything.
can't affect that at all. So it's out of our reach, and it's down to us.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you
Do you
only
want to
keep performing.
take us through take us through what we've got left, Terry, and I'll get your thoughts on each of those games, whether you think there are points there or not.
Okay, let's start with Forest at home.
Okay.
Anybody think? Anybody got any views? What do you think? What do you think about that Forest at home?
I think it's an opportunity to pick points up. I do. I think Forest have been absolutely brilliant, and they're in that position through their sheer hard work and quality they have got. But they have had results where they've been short. So I don't see why, if the lads can start well, it can't be a really tight game, because they're only winning by the odd goal a lot of the time, and those little bits of quality that they possess in their front three.
I'm going for a draw.
Yeah, I think it's an opportunity, definitely.
A draw
Win.
or win? Okay.
Okay.
I just think knowing them from a couple of weeks ago, Kieran will just have something that he can tweak a little bit, and someone's going to pop up with something.
Okay, Bournemouth away. Again,
I think that's a chance to pick, as well as they've done. I think there's always an off day in Bournemouth. They're not as relentless as an Arsenal or a Spurs, and I know they're up there. Spurs, not especially Spurs, but a Chelsea and stuff like that.
Well, they were 2-0 up at the weekend when they ended up drawing 2-2.
Exactly. So they'll, I wouldn't say there'll be nerves, but there'll be a little bit of trepidation. One of those games where, don't overlook this opponent of Ipswich and think it's just going to be an easy game, because if they do that, then they will.
Well, we're better away from home, so I'm going for a point. What do you think?
Well, I think, considering I'm going for 3 points against Forest, I will say we'll have a nice sort of break before the Bournemouth game, and we'll come back and get another 3 points down there.
Oh, Russell, here we go.
I think we're going to be flying.
Are you sponsored by a bookie or something like that? No?
Might be after this.
Okay, I'm going to go for a point, so I'll put yours down. Wolves at home, that's the big one, isn't it? Wolves at home. Views? Russ?
Yeah. I think we'll go
3 out of 3
points again. Yeah.
There's got to be.
Yeah.
We're going to win the next 3.
I mean, that's one game we have to win. You talk about must-win games.
I mean, earlier in the season, it was Southampton was the big game, wasn't
Yeah.
it? That was the one. But this is potentially now even bigger, isn't it? This one against Wolves.
Well, I'm saying 9 points out the next 3 games, so
Excellent.
we are then well and truly in the fight.
I hope you're right, Russ. I really do. I hope you're right. Okay, we've got Chelsea away.
Well, hang on, we haven't had Chambers' thoughts on that. What do you think?
Sorry, Chamber.
I'm just enjoying these two, really. I love the optimism.
Yeah.
I don't want to give my predictions.
I can't remember ever losing to Wolves at home.
No, yeah, I can. Chelsea away.
I'm going to that game.
That's a Chelsea. 3 points.
Well, it's normally when I say away, it's normally not here.
Yeah.
Yeah. 3 points?
For Chelsea?
No, what you going? All right, okay. So I'll put a blank there for you. I'm going. Oh, I've got a blank as well. Sorry about that. What have you?
I'm going for a point.
Oh, jeez, oh.
Jeez, oh.
Yeah. Very good.
He might be playing up front with a bit of luck.
Yeah. Arsenal at home.
It's going to be a tricky period, that one, I think.
Chelsea and Arsenal, and then you've got Newcastle away, so there's 3 massive games.
3 huge games. But we've picked up 10 points in the previous 4, so right, that was off.
I can have a holiday.
Yeah. No,
Arsenal have got no striker, have they? So, you know,
it's very true.
we can shut up shop and nick one. 1-0 to the Town, I'd go for that one.
The league title's over by then as well, so they'll be disappointed. They won't be at their strongest mentally, and we shall nick 3 points off them.
Well done, Russell.
I'm going for a point. What are you going for?
Put me down for a blank.
Okay. All right, okay. Newcastle away. There's 2 away games coming up, Newcastle, Everton. Views?
I think we should go up there and watch them have a nice Friday night out in Newcastle.
I think we should go away and watch every game, but be honest, and take Life's a Pitch with us. That'd be great, wouldn't it? What do you think, Mark? Newcastle away.
Newcastle away. A blank.
Oh, I'm not coming back to you anyway for being optimistic. Be like Russell. Come on, Mark. Chamber?
Tough place to go, St James's. Can't see the boys getting too much there, but
some good bars there as well, and it's well worth a trip.
I've been there once, and I couldn't see the game. We were so far up in the gods. It was like looking at little Subbuteo players. Nightmare, wasn't it?
Yeah.
last time I went there, Newcastle kept the ball for 60 seconds from kick-off and then scored. We didn't touch it before they scored.
Right, okay.
It was a long
Tough place to go.
Long afternoon, that was.
Well, we're not looking for that sort of depression. We're looking for optimism here. Well, I'm going to go for... Oh, I'll put a blank. Russell, you going for 3 points?
I think Sir Bobby will be shining down on us that day and give us a point.
Okay. Everton away.
3 points.
3 points?
This is where you made your debut, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, not the same stadium, but...
No, it will be the same stadium, I think.
Haven't quite moved
in
yet.
that new one yet.
Everton away. What do you say, Russ?
3.
3? I've gone for 1. Now, this is these 3 games accrue Brentford at home, Leicester away, West Ham at home.
Good. Last 4 games, that, isn't it?
I think that's a good, it's a good last 3 games, So
if Kieran picks up those points between now and the end of the season in those games that Russell's predicted, I think he'll be at Real Madrid this time next year. So fingers crossed. Or he'll take it over at Arsenal. Guy's a magician.
It'll be my fault, won't it?
Yeah, I've gone for 3 victories.
Last 3?
Last 3.
So we've made Europe then?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, that makes it right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 26 points. Russell says 26 points.
26 points. Well done, Russ. Yep.
Yeah.
That's great.
I
No,
hope
it's
so.
good.
I hope so. That'd be
Well,
great.
we're
wouldn't
giving
it?
him anything.
I've got 16. So that's 4 wins and 4 draws.
And what would that take us to?
33 points.
Be tight, wouldn't it?
33 points will be more than enough because Forest survived on 32 last year. So it's going to be between us and Wolves. So I think that's pretty tight. So I think that's a big target to go for. But why not? Why not?
And they have just got to go for it now, haven't they?
Yeah.
Rather than sort of... Yeah.
So
If we're 1-0 down and we've got 10 minutes to go, why don't we stick both strikers on? We've got that new Scottish international striker to come off the bench now, haven't we? He's going to play for Scotland now, isn't he?
No, he's not been picked, has he?
Not been picked.
He's been selected.
But
talking
just
about
said
George
he's
Hurst,
allowed to
aren't he?
play, though, isn't he? Now?
Yeah.
He's.
I think Steve Clark said that he's 99% convinced with him. He doesn't select him. Because he's meant to cushion the blow with a 99%. I don't know. Yeah.
McHurst.
Hurst.
Yeah. Okay. Well, here's a question for you, and I've been reading quite a few forums, and I know I shouldn't do that, but there are some people there saying that Delap is too greedy. Is he?
He's a striker. They're greedy, aren't they? They see a chance for a goal, they're going to score. Very rarely pass the ball. They score. Because their reputation is built on goals. So therefore they have to score goals.
I also think a lot of his opportunities that he's taken on recently just haven't quite been as well executed as what he was doing early on in the season. Whether he's just rushed him a little bit, he's had a couple of cracking efforts. You know, that's just gone a little bit high, a little bit wide. He done half twat the ball, doesn't he? Cool.
Is that a technical term?
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
Beep.
It's
Give it a
in
good
the
old
FA handbook, yeah.
twat, yeah. Yeah, and I just think he's been a little bit unlucky. Yeah, he's greedy, but show me a centre forward that isn't greedy. You know, Marcus Stewart spoke to him last week. What was he? Nearly a goal every other game, and he was a greedy little person in front of goal. You know, you can't moan at that.
It's not my place to respond to nonsense that goes on in forums, really.
Okay.
He's been our best player all season, and now we're going to start throwing stuff at him. It's crazy.
No, I don't. I think it's there. Possibly have been a couple of occasions where maybe a pass on would have been a better chance. But as you say, if you're a striker, you want to score that goal, don't you?
I think it's also he backs himself to score those goals, which he has done in so far this season. He's hit things from ridiculous angles. They've gone in. He's made things. He makes his own chances half the time.
The other forum suggestion was Hurst and Delap to play together up front.
Oh, that's what I'd like
to see them play together, but yeah.
And again, we need to win games.
Something different now.
Yeah, something different. And
I mean, the system that he's had has been fantastic the last 2-3 years. But I just think you need something a little bit different now. Because everybody knows what you're going to do and who you're going to play and all that.
But also,
you could go 3-5-2.
It's unrecognisable now, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
The football that the team played over the last few years to what we're doing now with all the new players and trying to bed them into a way of playing, it is unrecognisable to what brought the team the success. So why not put two up front and get people around them? And I think over the last 5-6 years, we were talking about this the other day, even in the Championship, people can't defend as well as they could. Because it's less direct, but you're seeing week in, week out now. Obviously, I know it's the Championship is a different level, but long throws are coming in, corners. They're putting two up front. They're causing teams problems just by having sheer numbers in those areas. Then you can play more in the opposition's half as opposed to isolate one with two wingers, and we can't quite get out at times.
Yeah, we're still a bit concentrated on our style of play a little bit, isn't it? You know, we concentrate on that a little bit too much, I think, and sometimes you just got to roll your sleeves up and make sure you get the result. You know, and sometimes that is about sticking two people up front and getting the ball up front. And if you're playing against 10 men, you've got to try and make it count. And, you know, there's more than one way to skin a cat, as you say. You know, and I know talk about the process and how we play, and which has got us to where we are. But to stay where we are, you've probably got to have a plan B. You know, and Keir McKenna, if he's listening to this, he'll be thinking, here we go again. Somebody thinks you have to do something else.
I don't think it's a criticism, is it? We're not criticising at all. It's more like you've got the opportunity where we have a lot of injuries in wide areas and stuff like that. Are the lads getting the best opportunities playing in the wide areas and creating enough to warrant to keep doing the same thing, I suppose, is probably the question. If you've got two lads like that who are willing to run and harry and chase and be physical and bring a lot of quality to the team, it's an opportunity.
I think if we were playing against them, this was your back three, and we're playing against Delap on his own, and then after 75 minutes they take Delap off and put Hurst on, it'd be okay. That's no different for us. But if you put Hurst on with Delap, we'd be going, hold on, we've got a problem now.
Because you'd immediately go, come on, tuck in. Well, then you've got space now for your wide players or your 10 to put balls in the box when you've got more numbers in the box. So
You got your chance to go 2v1 on the outside, you know, overlaps and things like that. But I think what this period has indicated to us and to a lot of people is you've got to get more crosses in the box. Whether you've got one striker or 2, 3, 4 players, we've got to get crosses in the box, and that's where you're gonna cause major problems because they can't defend the far post. A lot of teams now because the fullbacks are up the pitch and they can't get back in time. So there's loads of spaces there. And you know, I think scoring a goal from a set piece as well was great. You know, we used to be really, really good at that, but that's sort of died down because of the quality of the Premier League. But get crosses in the box, get some shots, take a chance. You know, I think
get in the Pomo position.
The Pomo position of maximum opportunity on the far post.
The what? Sorry.
The position of maximum opportunity.
Pomo.
Is
that a thing?
What was his name? Charles something. Was
Charles Hughes. Wasn't it?
Charles Hughes.
Yeah.
Right. Who used to do all the FA coaching courses and everything, and all the, you know, the teaching manuals. And they used to say, you know, the position of maximum opportunity was sort of the 6 yards. Sort of opposite the near post and far post, but extending it to the penalty spot. So get the ball in that area as often as you can during a game, and that is where you are going to score most of your goals from.
I know I'm going to go back a long, long time now, but it
That's
was
when I got
a fantastic
my FA
era.
badge in.
Sorry?
And that's when I got my FA advanced coaching
Oh, is it?
license then, yes,
Okay.
many years ago.
He'll be very pleased if he's still alive that you're mentioning Pomo.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
I'm going to go back to Crawford and Phillips. And you talked to Ted, and you know we were lucky enough to meet him and talk to him over the years. And you know he had the thunderbolt shot, didn't he, Ted Phillips? You talked to Ray Crawford. Ray, how did you score so many goals? Well, you know, I just tapped in the rebounds from Ted's shots that bounced off the keeper, that bounced off the defender, that bounced off the woodwork. So the ball was shot in there, and he was there to poach those goals. You can kind of see that now. Why not?
Yeah, I think it's right. I think you've got to, if you get a chance, even from distance, 20, 25 yards, have a go. Because the ball, according to the goalkeepers, the ball moves a hell of a lot. I mean, it probably doesn't, but they just punch it out. It's an excuse. But just have a go. And we have nothing to lose now. And I think it's putting crosses in, having shots, go and follow up the rebounds, but having a go. Be positive. I think that's, not that the players aren't, but they've got to be more. I think more of that.
Yeah. Ricochets, rebounds. Yeah. You know, if you chuck the ball in the 18-yard box now and again, something might happen. If you don't put it in there, then you're guaranteed 100% that nothing's going to happen. Keep whacking it in there.
And if you carry on playing the way we have in this league, the same thing's going to happen, isn't it? As what's happened for the rest of this season. You know, we've not quite made it, have we? Compared to last year and the year before. So try something new.
But I go back to my point earlier, you know, if you had 2 strikers up there against the back 3, which a lot of the teams do play with, even if it's only for the last 10, 15 minutes of the game, you're not going to put a fresh back 3 on. You know, so your 3 centre-backs are probably going to be blown a little bit, you know, by the time you get to 80 minutes on the clock. You see another fresh player come up front. I was just saying with Hurst, with Delap, you know, that's going to give people problems.
CISO as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, he looks sharp. So I think it's. I mean, we'd all love a change of system. That, you know, that's not going to happen, but you know, why not? Why not? You know, why not? You know, have the thought sort of there where it's, you know, it could well work, because if the way that we're going, it doesn't work when you change the substitute. So. I mean, at the end of the day, we've scored. The players have scored from long range before in the Championship and in League One, when they've played. They have hit shots and you know they've gone in and people have got rebounds and all that sort of thing.
We can ask them on Friday night at the ex-players' dinner.
Yeah,
we tell them which team to play.
Yeah, I think that will go down very well. I think that will be right. Yeah. So I'll try and get his comments. I'll try and wheedle it out of him.
Good man.
Oh,
if anybody can.
Are you hosting the event again then?
Yeah, I am,
Butch?
yeah.
Yep, excellent.
Yeah, so, yeah. I don't know what I'm going to say, but I'll say something. It might be offensive to some people, but there we are. But I couldn't care less, to be honest.
And frankly, only you can get away with it, really.
Well, I don't know if I can get away with it, but I'll certainly
done
try.
so far.
I'll certainly try, yeah.
That bit about Chamber you can keep in now. Of course, he's not going to be there.
No, Chambo's not coming along.
Oh, right. Okay.
But that was your first time last year, wasn't it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, good.
Yep.
You didn't get anything.
First and last.
First and last.
No, I am working on Friday.
No, it's a good job you're working, but it's a good.
Oh, the best night I had there was I shared a table with Eric Gates and Kevin Beattie. And all night long it was backwards and forwards between the two of them, story after story after story. It was hilarious, so funny. Sunburnt on a beach somewhere after drinking a load of beers and falling asleep in the sun, and just hilarious.
Oh, that was a sunstroke one, was it? When he got wheeled on the plane the next day?
Yeah. Yes.
Sunstroke,
it was just
my
absolutely
arse.
priceless.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Happy days.
Yeah.
It's good if you can get in. Right, so I'll tell you what, let's choose this week's Player of the Week, sponsored by the Dove in Ipswich. So for the Palace game, Chambo, let's come to you first.
Just going to see what Russell says, to be honest.
Okay, Dara O'Shea.
Dara O'Shea.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's having a good season, isn't he?
He's having a good season, and, again, has to play it right back a bit of the game, and he just gets on with it. And, he's got a little bit of fire in his belly, and you can see him having a little go at the referee and one or two of the other players. He's in there for it, yeah.
He's had the captain's armband as well, hasn't he?
No,
So future club captain, maybe?
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, there's a place on here for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Along with other Ipswich skippers.
Yeah. No, we've got quite a collection of you.
Yeah.
Chambo, come on, I'll come to you next.
Yeah, I'm going to copy Russ. Centre half playing right back, a man after my own heart,
Wow.
Yeah, listen, he has done well, and he's had that opportunity that he's been given and taken specific players' places, I suppose, and he's someone with Premier League experience that he's doing the job that he's been asked to do week in, week out at the moment, and he has been pretty reliable. So, yeah, that's a difficult team to play against in the fullback area at Crystal Palace, especially down there. So, yeah, I'll agree with him on that one.
Terry?
Yep, Dara O'Shea. I think they could have had Alec Palmer or something like that, but I think he's given it a go. He's given it everything. He's fully committed, doesn't leave anything in the dressing room. He's a good example. Yeah, so, yeah, Dara O'Shea.
Okay, Dara O'Shea, everybody, our Player of the Week. Well done. Has Muric played his last game for Town? Wasn't on the bench on Saturday, was he? It's Walton. Has he played his last game?
It would look like it. Yeah, you don't want to sound the death knell sort of thing for him, but it looks like it. Slicker's injured though, isn't he? Is he injured?
He's been called up for Scotland.
Is he? All right. Well, they take anybody now, don't they? So yeah.
Scottish goalkeepers.
Yeah.
McSlicker.
Alan Ruff.
McSlicker, yeah. Alan Ruff, yeah.
What do you
Jim
think,
Leighton.
Chambo? It just hasn't worked, and sometimes it just doesn't work, does it?
No. Simple as that, really. Yes. You just don't know. You never know what's going to happen around the corner. There could be injuries and stuff. So he's still a very good goalkeeper. He just didn't get off to the best of starts. And when your team isn't winning, there's a lot more pressure and highlights on the positions like a goalkeeper. So very difficult once you have a sticky start to then get yourself back on track when the team aren't winning games. So
yeah, his first game at Man City didn't exactly
set the tone, didn't
himself in glory, did he?
It set the tone for that.
But it's a new team. There's a new team starting and new goalkeepers without any real coordination with the back four. Yes, played friendly games and done this and done that, but then everybody's trying to build in and trying to get to know each other in the Premier League, which is a really unforgiving league. So yeah, you can understand why it's been difficult for him, because if you don't start off pretty well, then there's always from the back four, there's always look over your shoulder. Well, is he coming? Is he not coming? What's he doing? And all that sort of thing. So it hasn't worked out. And I think the more that he didn't have like really perfect games or brilliant games, the more he came under scrutiny. We've got a good keeper now in Palmer. We've got Walton back fit, so that's a really good bonus for us.
When you're not winning games and people aren't playing brilliantly, then situation becomes exacerbated where it's made out to be worse than it probably is. So I think he's been a victim of that at times, and the lack of relationships in the team since the start of the season have probably harmed him more than anyone else.
Injuries haven't helped with him in front, so
no. So lots of changes for him to come in,
but you never know.
Yeah, no, I think there's still opportunity for him to be a good goalkeeper for the club. So we'll just have to see what the next few weeks and months bring.
Time will tell. I remember one Muccio Tarico struggled when he first arrived, and now we love him to bits, don't we? You know, he knuckled down and said, "I'm going to make a success of this," and he did. So who knows? Who knows?
Yep.
Takes some players longer than others, doesn't it, to settle in and get going?
Yeah, it took Bartos a while to get in the team when he first joined. And look what happened to him. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, fantastic keeper for us. Let's talk about Forest, because they are one of the teams that Town ought to be sort of trying to emulate, really. There are teams that have come up and have stayed up. I'm thinking of the Brightons, the Bournemouths. Forest, you know, I think at the beginning of the season we thought they'd be down towards the bottom. They're having a stonking season. We should really, I mean, when we get all the points, Russell, that you say we're going to get, next year we'll have a great season.
Yeah, great. Yeah, and I've got a lot of time for Forest, because when I was born in Ilkeston, just outside Nottingham, so between Nottingham and Derby.
That's Derby, that, mate.
Yeah, that's why I used to go to the baseball ground and not turn. And it was good. It was good fun, because there's a lot of banter over the years there. Then Cloughie went from Derby. He went over, well, via Leeds United, and ended up back at Forest. But you know, super teams, and a lot of time for Nottingham Forest. We used to have some great games there. Very enjoyable football matches. You know, they weren't a kicking side. They were always tough. It was always about, you know, who's going to play best on the day. You know, they had fantastic players like John Robertson. It was a bit like Kevin Beattie. He used to sit there at half time and have a fag. But I just think at the moment, you know, you're right. We should be up in the top half of the Premier League with people like Forest. You know, and Chelsea should be back up there, and Spurs should be back up there, and you know, not just your Liverpool and your Man United and Man City. So, but we've got to get it there, and we will do.
I have no time for Forest at all.
Okay.
None at all. I hope they have a nightmare, to be honest. I hope the coach breaks down.
Excellent. Thank you, Terry, for that.
They've been brilliant, haven't they?
Yeah.
They found their first season back in the Premier League very, very tough. They made loads of changes, didn't they? 30-odd signings in their first transfer window, and what they've been able to do since staying up in that first season, very similar. It looked like they were dead and buried at the stage. But the signings they've made, and the managerial appointment for me is brilliant, and I think he's been a fantastic Premier League manager. He knows what it takes to take teams to the top of the division, but they're definitely playing in a way that's totally different to most teams that are being successful in the Premier League. They are comfortable in a real strong shape, and they know once they have space that they can counter on. They have absolute lethal weapons on the wings, and a striker who's absolutely reinvented himself since he joined me for a few weeks. One stage, Chris Wood has been absolutely incredible. There's even talk of him moving again, but at his age, I'm sure he'll probably end up playing there for as long as possible. But the way they've been able to get their supporters on board by playing that type of football that isn't free-flowing and expansive and all this possession, which everyone wants to try and emulate Man City, the way they've done it and the way they did it against Man City last week in that counter-attacking style, I think that's what the City grounders absolutely loved. And I was up there for a game recently, and it was just a completely different world.
Fantastic atmosphere they've got
and
as well.
And I always, when I joined Ipswich, it was something that, from both histories of the club, they're very, very similar. The only difference is Nottingham's just such a massive city, and that's where the whole place is just red everywhere. And I think we are back at that stage now, where there's blue everywhere. But when I was obviously playing, it wasn't quite like that. But now we have everything there for us to try and emulate that. We just have to try and get over that line. But they're someone that definitely I've admired how they've changed, especially in the last 2 or 3 seasons, because it was a bit of a mess. After
what other teams should we be sort of trying to emulate? I mentioned Bournemouth, Brighton
for sure.
Yeah, great recruitment some of these teams have had, haven't they?
Yeah, but like they said, they don't always get it right. And they said, yeah, you know, we mess up a few times, and it takes, but we're not expecting anybody to suddenly come to to Brighton Football Club and be a hero straight away. You know, 6 months, yeah, fine, great. You know, we're happy with that, and we don't always get it right, but you know, we manage to get it right more often than wrong. So, you know, they've been a great example.
Whereas we've wanted, with our recruitment, success straight away to you know, secure our status, haven't we?
But I like what Villa have done.
The fan base or the club?
Yes. Well, both probably. I don't know. I mean, why are you buying players? You're buying players in the Premier League to... Surely he's been strengthening to try and stay in the Premier League, hasn't he? Or has he had one eye on the Championship?
No, you don't do that. You don't do
I don't
that.
think you have one eye on the Championship, but if you look at the list of players that we have signed all season, I think it's glaringly obvious that we've always had one eye on the Championship. Because for me, apart from Calvin Phillips, who's had a very quiet last few years, there's not one player that is proven Championship quality that we signed, in my opinion.
Premiership quality.
Premiership quality. And I think Forest took a massive risk when they signed all the players they did, but some of those players were international players and players with top tier experience. So I think the way the club have done it, I applaud them on it. But I think to get those players now, even 3 years or 2 years later than what Forest did it, you're spending 50, 60 million on these
go back
players.
to the point I made earlier. You know, we have some very good players in the side, but other teams like Forest have got a squad full of very, very, very good players.
Really good signings we've made. Really, really good signings. But we're still paying 20, 30 million for players that aren't proven in the Premier League. And that's the scary void that is now being created between the
you haven't got the money, so
no, you haven't, and you can't.
that's the only way.
You can't spend
buy
the money.
2 players for 50 million.
That's
but
the only
2
way
players,
that this club could go was to go down that route.
Yeah, and it's not a criticism; it's just a factual exercise. You can't buy 2 players for 50 million each and expect to stay up because 2 players won't equate to what you need.
So what are we going to do to stop the 3 teams that come up getting relegated?
Well, that is the big question that no one's really talking about. But the gulf in the sides now is there for all to see in the 3 that currently sit in the bottom 3. Hopefully we've signed players in the team brilliantly that we drop down again, bounce straight back up, and we've got another 150 million to spend. But because you've bolstered that, the guys have had experience in the Premier League, you're then going to have the opportunity to spend a 40 or 50 million on a couple of players, and then your team gets better, and you then got more chance to stay up. But to drop down straight away is... You know how difficult the Championship is. It's not going to be an easy thing, regardless of how good our
you
players
look
are.
at Luton, don't you? I mean, they're a different kettle of fish to us, but
Totally different. But,
but
it's possible. It's tough.
Yeah, and they
tough.
could go down.
Yeah.
Well, I've got every confidence in that group of players and the manager and the whole club that I've seen teams go down like a Luton, and some of those players still think they're Premier League players, and they're absolutely miles off it. The lads will be ready.
Division 1 next year.
Yeah, the lads will be ready to attack the Championship. And they'll absolutely be buzzing for it.
Smash it.
And they will absolutely. I've got no doubt they'll be right up there. It won't be a given, but the team that will, if it does go down, the team will be better than the team that we got promoted with. So that's all you can say for progress at the football club.
Having done that, to come up to the Premier League with the club the way it was in terms of no structure and foundation in terms of Premier League experience, having made that journey once, they've got. They know what it's all about now, and they know what they have to do, and the club knows what it has to do. So I have no doubt that they will, if they do go down, then they'll really challenge to come back up and should come up, to be honest.
And you don't want to just accept it either. Like everyone in here wants the club to stay up and the players to stay up and the team to stay together, and it will be stronger for it, even if the worst does happen. But we're still in with a chance of staying in the Premier League. So it's just.
Do you think the teams
being honest about it all, really? I suppose.
Do you think the teams that come up need to be helped a little bit with the financial fair play being a little bit more in their favour to be able to spend a bit more if they wanted?
Well, you'll get the Premier League clubs say no because they want them to come up and go down. It's simple as that. But it's what it takes. If it's what it takes, we'll accept that because that's the way football is and the way that it's unfairly sort of tilted towards Ipswich with the other clubs having been in the Premier League the year before, Southampton, Leicester coming back up, and you would never think that they were the ones that had Premier League money before and Premier League experienced players. I know they released a lot of players, but you thought that they would have known what it takes to go up. We didn't really know, but we got up, and we didn't really know what it takes to stay, but we do now.
No, I just think it's all happened so quickly that we can't be. It's the hope that gets you. Oh yeah, we'll be fine. We're going to stay up. But it's the actual realisation of the task at hand is when it happens so quickly, 3 years ahead of the schedule, the plan. It's always going to be difficult.
You're victims of your own success.
Of course you are, yeah.
So to a certain degree, which is not a bad thing, but that's the way it is.
Who's going to come up then next year?
Leeds, Sheffield United.
Leeds, Sheffield United, and Burnley.
Burnley,
possibly, and they've been.
Any one of those three drop into the Championship playoffs, they'll win them.
Yeah,
because that gulf is big.
Yeah.
Now, Sunderland just hanging on to it, but
we will be such a setup if we go down, won't we? You know, we will be a Premier League setup, properly.
I just hope that the club have protected themselves, because you see teams go down that haven't got those clauses in contracts where people are on £60,000-70,000 a week in the Championship, and they might be at a stage of their career where they're not as motivated as what they once were. And I've seen clubs like Sheffield Wednesday have them situations and dropped into League One. And I know that the club is so well set up that all these eventualities will have been planned for. And it's not, I'm saying it's about the money, but it's about protecting the success and the future at the same time. And I think that's what they have done really, really well.
And I think there's a lot of players that didn't possibly think they could play in the Premier League, especially being the young ones. But now they've been given that chance by the club, and I think that if and when it happens and we do get relegated, they'll stick by that club that got them that success and their name.
They'll want that again, won't they?
They'll want that again. Yeah, because they've had a taste of that through the football club, because the football club selected them and paid for them, paid good money.
But also, as will everyone else looking into the club. There'll be an attraction like a Leeds United would be.
Yeah, we don't want to be easy pickings.
No, you want to be attracting those bottom half Premier League players and the best players in and outside of the country, which the club will now be in that position to do because of the facilities, the stadium, the management, the running of the club, the infrastructure that will be put in place, the fan base. It's just such a. I don't think it will damage the relationship with the fans. It's going to be disappointing if it does come, but it'll. You could imagine the excitement that will build between the end of the season
next season.
Yeah, between the end of the season and the start of the season, it would almost give you goosebumps of how the excitement will build and who we recruit and who moves on and how exciting that Championship season will be.
Excellent, thank you. For that.
But you never know. The miracle could happen, but we've
got Russell in charge.
We've thrown away
Mystic Russ.
We've thrown
26 points. I might sell for 20.
Mystic Russ.
We've thrown away a lot of points when we could easily have had 4 or 5 more points already.
Yeah,
and that's not what's going to happen in the last 10.
Who knows? If you're going to the game on Saturday, you get a programme. There'll be a nice shiny Panini sticker in there. Ed Sheeran, he's got his own Panini stickers. They're giving some out in the fan zone, and you can get a free one in your programme. And there's a poster that you can stick it in as well, apparently, in the programme.
Brilliant.
Excited? Yeah.
Well done,
Ed. He's in the fan zone signing them, isn't he?
I don't know. No, probably not. But you can go. Some people are handing some stickers out in the fan zone, I think, of Ed Sheeran stickers. March of the day. Sarah, who we spoke to on the show last week, just shout out how much you've raised so far. 415. I'll be putting up how to give money to that on our Life's Pitch Facebook page. Also, some international news. Al Hamadi in the Iraqi squad. Also, Broadhead in the Welsh squad. Wish we'd have seen more of him. I want to see more of him this season.
He's looked quite sharp when he's come on.
Yeah.
But I can't quite understand what's been going on there.
And as we said earlier on, Slickers in the Scotland squad. Don't forget, if you want to be part of our Life's Pitch capacity crowd, there's free beer and snacks. Go to www.lifespitch.tv, click on capacity crowd, which is right at the very top, and then you can apply that way, and we'll hopefully see you on the show. There's no show next week, by the way, because one of us has got to have a hip replacement, and it's not me. Right, it's time for... What's it time for? What should we do next?
Oh, the quiz. Yes. The quiz.
Ask the Legends, sponsored by Seckford Golf Club.
That's the one.
That's the one. Tony's here from Seckford. Hi, Tony.
Hi. How are we all?
We're very good, thank you.
Hi, Tony.
Very good.
Make it easy, mate.
So at the moment, Terry's now in double figures. 10.5 to Russell's 16.5. So... an opportunity for you to keep that momentum going, Terry. Yes.
We'll see. We'll
see.
I've got an apology to make. I've made another mistake on one of the questions.
Did you?
I was in a cafe having a cup of coffee up near Darsham on Saturday morning, and
You're getting recognised now.
this guy came walking across with an Ipswich top on. He said, "Do you ask the questions on Life's a Pitch, don't you?" He said, "You made a mistake. The penalties."
Oh, right, okay.
Apparently, I was wrong about who was second, Colin Viljohn, which Russ got, didn't he? He said, no, it wasn't that. He said it was Tommy Miller,
Right.
who wasn't in any list I ever saw.
No.
But I had a look at it, and it was Tommy Miller.
Okay.
So I apologise to that guy
Yeah.
because I did make a mistake.
No, that's okay. I'm just impressed you're getting recognised.
Yeah,
done.
yeah, I know.
Right,
Far and
so
wide.
you got a question for us this week.
Yeah,
Quite-
no-
This is really straightforward, this one. Nothing to do with mathematics like
No,
last week.
And I apologise for that as well. Nothing to do with me, that question.
Right. So if you got it wrong, what happens to the score?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking just now. Yep.
Don't look at me.
Give Terry another point, I reckon.
Yeah, you probably should.
No, I think just leave
No,
it.
take,
Just leave it.
listen, just take off one
Just
of
leave
mine.
it. We
Listen, I've got
every-
plenty there.
Okay, that's very-
everybody needs a second chance. So that's fine.
15 and a half,
Yeah.
10 and a half.
Russell's now on 15 and a half and Terry's on 10 and a half. So the gap's closing, Butch. And you've not done anything yet, look.
And this
No,
is
but
this is an easy one, okay? So
Okay, here we
nice,
go. Come on, here we
easy
go.
question. Okay. Who succeeded Sir Alf Ramsey as our manager? Anyway.
Who succeeded Alf Ramsey as the Ipswich Town manager? Who was the manager after Sir Alf Ramsey? Draw a picture. It's gone very quiet. Very quiet.
He lived on the road I live on now.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Not that that'll help.
He lives on the
Well,
road. that
same
you-
as Luke used to live on. Down the road from you, Luke.
lives
Let's
on the
not give
street.
my address away.
You don't live there now.
Can you say the question again, please?
Who succeeded Sir Alf Ramsey, or Alf Ramsey as it was, as our manager?
So who came after Alf? This is working really well on radio, this
Yeah,
one
it's-
podcast.
I've
is
got
very
an answer,
quiet.
but I don't think it's right.
Okay.
You say that every time.
And I'm not right every time. Yeah.
Russell, you are writing something down. Have you got an answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had an answer for ages.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go first, Terry?
I'll go first.
Go on then.
Bill McGarry.
Bill McGarry. Okay. Russell?
I've gone Bill McGarry.
Bill McGarry.
Yeah.
Oh!
You're both wrong.
I thought it was too.
Well, it's a
too
tie
simple,
then.
wasn't it?
Jackie
What,
Milburn.
point each?
It was Jackie
So we've got
Milburn.
another question.
Jackie Milburn.
Jackie Milburn.
Yeah, so that was straightforward. We both got it wrong.
I did see one today, in the Amateur FA Cup, Ipswich's first ever game. That was 1884 or something. Who did Ipswich lose to? That, if you want a really hard one.
Oh, go on, lads.
You'll never get it in a million years. One quick guess.
What year?
18 something.
Ipswich.
How
1884.
old were you then, Terry?
The first ever game.
Yeah, I'd say it was the Royal Engineers.
No,
Ipswich School.
no. Ilford.
Ilford.
What was it?
Massive club.
Yeah, moving on, Mark.
Yeah,
Here
let's
we go,
move on. Yep. Okay. 15 and a half, 10 and a half. It's getting closer. Right now, look, it's time for our table football challenge sponsored by Fred Olsen Logistics.
It's you, your turn. I've done
My
it.
turn?
I've done it. Come on, the fans want to see you,
Well, I
mate.
thought you were
You're
our
the guest.
You're our special guest
No,
tonight.
but
You're
I've
the
already,
Forest.
I've already smashed them. I'm not going to do it
Do
again,
we
am
want
I?
Luke Chambers back on the table? Come on. No spinning and on the whistle.
No spinning.
No spinning on. Oh, all right. Leslie says you can spin. She's in charge. Right.
Who's your partner?
Chambo, do you want a partner?
I beat him on my own last time, didn't I?
Yeah, you beat him on your own last time.
Play, Mark?
Yeah, I'll play.
Goalie or?
Yeah, I'll go in goal. Let's give.
Good luck.
Sarah, you can have the whistle and watch. So 60 seconds.
Getting every.
60 seconds. So give the whistle when you're ready. All right.
Right.
Was that the whistle? Was that the whistle?
Oh.
Shot mark.
Come on. Hey,
The guy won this one, isn't it?
Oh my God.
Is he going to be the first?
0-0 draw.
First.
Oh! Hey! That was Murich.
Oh, so bad.
How long?
Oh.
Go on, Chum, you can spin it just for you.
Oh no, and goal.
5 seconds.
Oh, what a great save. That was Palmer.
4, 3, 2.
Oh, what a save!
Good game,
Well
gentlemen.
played, Skip.
What's exciting game with
Well done, mate. Thank you.
1-0 win.
Another win.
1-0 win.
Another
1-0
win.
to the 1-0 to the Butcher and Osmonds. So well done. Whew, I'm knackered after that. Absolutely knackered after that. Got a lovely programme here that Tony's brought in, Terry, which you've had a little look through, which has got you and loads of money on the front. This programme. I don't know if you can see that on there. Loads of money. What had you done? What had you done?
I robbed the bank.
Cases and cases of cash. Look.
Yep.
Okay, cases and cases of it.
Signing on for that.
Yeah. What was that for? Do you remember?
No.
No. Okay.
I think it might have been for the town lottery or with. No, I don't remember.
No. What was it like when you were on the front of a programme, Chamber? Did you all sort of like vie to be on the front cover? Was it a moment for you, or was it just?
I think they generally just sold out straight away, didn't they? If I was on the front. No, absolutely not. Didn't literally
not
ever
even
take any notice of it at all.
Used to be a surprise, didn't it? You get to the game on a Saturday and go, oh. Could they not have chosen a better picture?
that would generally be the reaction.
Is that
Somebody
the best
beating
picture
you
we've
in
got?
the air or something like that, you know.
Yeah.
Lack of thought.
Oh well.
It wasn't. In the dressing room, it wasn't greeted with a lot of happiness, was it? It was like, oh, here we go. I get the stick.
I did enjoy you reading the programme before a game, though. Nice chill out in the corner.
In the corner or the toilet?
The corner. No,
the
I was in the
corner.
corner in the dressing room, just overseeing how nervous everyone was. It was good
Did you have
fun.
to do captain's notes at any point?
No, they generally got.
It used to be a
They
thing.
used to
didn't it?
interview you every week, and
Captain's
then
notes.
it's sort of they made it up in the end.
I used to take the program into the toilet, so I knew I had some paper. Well, doesn't anyone? I mean, come on now.
It wasn't the days of Isle, I suppose.
There's
so
a lot
it's
of nerves. There's a lot of nerves before the game, so you need quite a
Got to
substantial
be used
amount.
for something, haven't
Yeah,
they?
absolutely. Yeah.
Right then, let's move on. It's time for On This Day in History, sponsored by Fred Olsen Logistics.
Okay, on this day in history, we're actually going to start on Saturday, the 11th of March, 1978. A sublime performance saw tempestuous hosts Millwall smashed 6-1 at Coldblow Lane, and Ipswich reached the FA Cup semi-final for the second time in their history. The performance was overshadowed by scenes off the pitch as referee Bill Gow had to order the players off for 20 minutes after George Burley's long-range cracker. Running battles on the terraces between Millwall fans and the police saw a number of spectators spill onto the pitch, and individual town fans attacked in an intimidating atmosphere. When play finally resumed, a Paul Marner hat-trick and goals from John Walker and Brian Talbot made it a day town fans wouldn't forget for various reasons. Right, moving on. Saturday the 12th of March, 1887. Think back to this one. The Blues won their first ever trophy when Ipswich Association beat Ipswich School 2-1 in the Suffolk Challenge Cup final at Portman Road. In snowy conditions, Sherrington and Peacock scored the goals in front of 1,000 fans.
Wow.
Lovely jubbly. And finally, Saturday the 12th of March 2005. Good omen this one. Nottingham Forest were demolished 6-0 in Suffolk as the Tractor Boys recorded their biggest victory under Joe Royal. 5 different players got on the score sheet.
Very good.
That's what we
That's
want.
it.
That'd be nice, wouldn't it?
They've been lovely this week.
Good old Joe Royal.
Yep.
Do you remember playing against Town when you were at Forest? Did you?
Yeah. We came to Portman Road and I think Ipswich scored after about 2 minutes. We ended up winning 3-1 though when I was at Forest. And then one of the games at City Ground, I witnessed one of the best goals you'll ever see. Lewis McGugan, 45-yard free kick in the top corner. If no one's ever seen it before, have a look on YouTube.
Yeah, that'll be a YouTube smash tonight.
Absolutely walloped it.
Who's letting him shoot from 45 yards?
It's a free kick.
Keep it no wall or
Dead
anything
ball.
like that?
Oh, it's hard to explain. There was only 2 people in the wall. It was that far out. One of the lads said to him before he hit it, Chris Cohen, him and Chris Cohen, because I was sort of standing over it thinking, I'll clip this into the box. And he's like, no, I'm going to shot. And Chrissy Cohen goes, if you score from this, I'm going home. And he's literally ran up. And Roy Keane was in charge at the time. It was unbelievable. You have to look at it.
Okay, we will.
I think it was nominated for like European Goal of the Season.
Wow.
I don't know if he won it or not.
And then did he go home?
No, he didn't go home. Carried on. We won 2-0.
Oh, right.
Very good.
Great story, Chamber. Anyway.
That was good.
I played against Joe Royal one day,
Right.
just because, just reminded me of that. And it was when I was a kid. And my fighting weight when I first got into the Ipswich side, I was under 12 stone, so 11, 12, something like that. And I was bouncing off Joe Royal all day because he was big, experienced pro, probably about 13.5, 14 stone, and big fella, Joe. So every time I'm going for the ball in the air, I've got my elbows whacking him on the back of the head and this, that and the other, and the referee's having a go at me, and me and Joe ended up having a bit of a square up. And the referee came over and started giving me a lecture, and Joe sort of interrupted him. He said, "Ref, leave him alone. It's because I was out with his girlfriend last night, that's all." I just looked at Joe. I thought, all right. Thanks, Joe.
Was it?
Those weren't quite the words he was said, but,
Yeah, we get the gist.
We get the gist, yeah.
Yeah, we get the
about
gist.
my girlfriend,
Ipswich Town's women, Sophie Peskett, 100 games now. Well done, Sophie. Round of applause for Sophie. The big match at Portman Road, which is on March the 23rd. I think 5,000 tickets have been sold for that one. March 23rd at Portman Road, so 5,000. It was 10,000 last year, wasn't it, when they played? And they beat AFC Wimbledon 3-0. So well done to Ipswich Town women. Now, the Man v Fat team, they have finished the season and they are now going through the process of choosing new names for the teams. So if you have any suggestions, then please do post them on the YouTube messages below, or you can get in touch via the Facebook page or also the website. You can email us. So if you've got any suggestions for names for these football teams, then do get in touch, because they are interested in getting some new names. But we have got the teams, and they're all watching tonight. So do you want to wave at everybody in the crowd? Have a little wave at the Man v Fat boys, because they're all watching tonight. So in the blue team, we've got Scott Faltasek, Louis Gissing, Paul Deeks, Sam Pike, Danny Edwards, Sandro Clark Suarez, Adam Harris, Michael Webster, Suvith Tahil Sunil, Adash Babu and Jay Hood. It's like being back at Portman Road as the announcer again. In the white team, Ben Fisher, Darren Porter, Michael Wellham, Rhys Stedman, Paul Logan, Ryan Wadey, Marcus Norman, Mervyn Napthine, Andy Mortlock, Keith Fair and Tom Self. The red team, Max Pryke, Ryan Butcher, Kevin Bennett, Harrison Netzel, Danny Netzel, Trevor Gordon, Dan Lynch, Tom McGarry, Matt Leake, Michael Paul, Connor Ozier and Sean Hawes. In the black team, Stuart King, David Mann, Jose Simos, Jason Cowie, Matthew Hart, Tyler Williams, Phil Brown, Chris Wilson, Josh Babington Barber, James Carnell, Sam McKenzie and John Egan. 2 more to go. The orange team, Kieran Margetson, Nathan Sislick, Kyle Irvin, Karen Hillman, Darren Masters, Liam Mully, James Geeter, Christian Harvey, Chris Holdis, Thomas Kingsley, Dan Smith and Steve Smith. 1 more to go, boys. Hang on. In the green team, Luke Tyson, Michael Eglantine, Andy Farron, Travis Simmons, Liam Taylor, Lawrence Gilbert, Oscar Gallego, Simon Myers, Rainer Scalco, Mike Cardy and Barry Church. There we go. Hang on.
Very good. I missed that. Can you repeat it, please?
That seemed like a good idea when Mark and I were talking about it earlier on from Man v Fat, but there we go. So well done, boys. Good luck. They were all watching tonight, so it's doubled our audience. You want me to repeat that? There is the story. There used to be a thing called the Ipswich Blind Darts League, okay? That was the name of the league. Something, John over there will remember that, Ipswich Blind Darts League. And back in the day, Radio Orwell was the local commercial radio station. And they went through all the results one by one, one by one, one by one, one by one. It went on for hours and hours. And when they got to the end, there was one team left over. They'd misread it somewhere, so they did have to go through the whole lot again to try and find out where they had missed this one team that was left over.
Oh, dear.
So there we go, it does happen. Anyway, I think that's probably it. Score prediction for Saturday. Chambo!
1-1.
1-1. Butch?
3-3.
Russell?
2-0.
2-0 to Town!
I've got
Well
to go
done.
for the win.
Thank you, boys, very much. Thank you, Capacity Crowd. We have no show next week because Richard's having his hip done. But we'll be back the week after. So I'll leave with 2 words. Get ready to sing, everybody. Blue Army! 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 This has been a Life's a Pitch TV production. Main sponsor, DPS Tech. Also supported by Lakens, All About Hearing, Forward Floors, Ginger Pickle, Fred Olsen Logistics, The Dove, Seckford Golf Club, Ashford Wright, John Keeble Cars, Venue 16, The Hudson Group, Come Hither Design, Sound 4 Pro Audio, and Suffolk Sound. Our charities this year, Cancer Support Suffolk and the Ipswich Town Community Foundation.